Dear fathers, dear mothers, and distinguished guests, we welcome all of you here. The time has come for us to have something from Mr. Joel Baendafe. He's gonna speak about evolution of Earth, and that's what we are here. I beg you to have your attention here, and I will talk to the garden, to the guards who are over there to take care of the classroom. We don't need nose here. Please, it's an exam. It's an exam. As an exam, we don't want you to come and to destroy the classroom. No. That's why I want to give him, Mr. Joel, you have 15 minutes to give what you have, to give in summary what is in your work. Mr. You have the floor. Thank you.
So thank you for the floor. Before to start, I want to thank God, Jesus Christ, who gave us this opportunity to be here. Thanks we are here. I thank Mr. Roger. I thank all assistants, especially Mr. Rabbi Emmanuel, who helped me to realize this work. Thank you, bro. So my title is Evolution of Earth. So I want just to explain you something very important. You know, we see the face of the earth that we see nowadays. We see Africa, we said America. This face, it is not the same that was in the past. Our earth evolves. Our earth moves. It's why it is my object that I brought you today. So before to keep on, we have two questions that we have to answer. The first question it is, what things convince us or scientists to say that all continents were together in the past? What things convince geologists to say that we had supercontinents, we had another continent? And the second question is, what thing push or make moving our work? What things? So this question we're gonna answer. So about my works, I have 3 points. The first, introduction; the second, geology; and the third, the earth face from origin. So in the beginning, our earth was kind of ball in which Barney gas. As the time goes, we have the first, I can explain please, we have the first mass of Earth that is called supercontinents in the past. So these supercontinents, after many, so our birth is around the birth of the birth of Earth is around 4.5 billion years. So after many years, after million years, this mass broke up for giving many mass of length. Broke up for giving many mass of length that we call continents. We have before supercontinents, and the supercontinents gave many mass of length that we call continents. After several million years, these masses, these pieces of length join together for giving a new supercontinent. It's kind of sickle. Supercontinent, continent, supercontinent, and we call it Wilson sickle. It's Wilson is the geologist who is wrote about it, who explained it for the first time. So before I want just to answer the first question. What I said, what thing convinces geologists that in the past we had supercontinent, many other continents. I'm gonna give two examples. We have a stone from, for instance, Africa, and we have another stone from America, and we try to compare the stone. When we compare the stone, we see that they have the same features. When I talk about features, I say about form. They have the same form. They have the same chemical elements. They have the same physical elements. For instance, density. They have the same age. They have the same minerals. That proves that Africa and America were together in a present time when we have the edge of the stone, and we have also the edge of the stone. So another example for trees, we can have a trees from Asia and another trees from Europe, and we try to compare these trees. We saw that these trees have the same features, kind of, they have the same age, they have the same fruits, they have the same form, they have the same origins. That means Europe and Asia were together. It's this way scientific and geologists try to explain that we had another supercontinent. So I talk about supercontinents. In my title, precise, we're gonna start by Rodinia. Rodinia is a supercontinent. Its age is around 1 million years. So why I start by Rodinia? I say we had many supercontinents. So all supercontinents before Rodinia, nowadays till now, geologists and scientists don't have many knowledge about it, but we know that we had. It's why I start from Rodinia. But all supercontinents before Rodinia, we know precisely, we can explain what's happening. So in my works, I have some definitions, such as Earth. We have the third planet in order of distance from Sun, between Venus and Mars. Supercontinent, I explain it. It is the set of most of Earth continental blocks to form a single large landmass. Continent is a large continuous mass of land, and we have continental drive. What do you mean continental drive? Continental drive is the first theory that explains our health are moving. I tell you the truth, right now we are moving. It is true. So it's the first theory, and these men, the master of this theory was Wegener. Wegener explained that the continents are moving, but he didn't explain clearly what pushed this continent to move. He didn't see, because Wegener was just a climatologist. He had many maps. When I see the form of Africa and the form of America, he said that Africa and America could be together, but he didn't explain exactly, and his theory was refused. After drift continents, we have plate tectonic theory. Plate tectonic theory is in 1970. This theory, new theory, came to complete what Wegener said. This theory said what Wegener said, it's true, but he lacked something. He should explain clearly. So this theory explained exactly. It's why I want to explain you what push our continent to move, because right now we are moving. We have left. We have three parts. That is core, that is motor, that is crust. Here we have some chemical elements. We have chemical elements, and these chemical elements move up. air, mantle, and foam that we call the pure mantle. And the pure mantle will move up under the effect of gravitation. I don't know if you know it. Gravitation till this layer we call asthenosphere. Yeah. And this layer here is not liquid, it's not solid, but it's kind of soft. It's kind of soft, and this layer there are many movements that we call convection currents, and this movement convection current make moving our plate. It's the things which that Wegener should explain, and we have a new theory that now we know exactly what happened. So we have the structure of the earth. These points are explaining. So we're gonna go now to the main points of our work. The face of the earth from within. You can see we have supercontinents within. We see this supercontinent. We have many masses of lands joining together to form the supercontinent that we call Rodinia. So we have not Africa or it's another continent. So the time goes after several million years, this supercontinent broke up, forgiving many masses of lands that we call another continent. After that, these masses of lands joining together, forgiving a new supercontinent that we call Pangea. Pangea, we are in around 216 million years. We see Pangea, and this Pangea, after million years, this supercontinent broke up, forgiving two masses of lands that we call continents, Gondwana and Laurentia. And this continent broke up, forgiving another many masses of lands that we can see. If we see here, we see Africa and America together.
2 minutes.
So, and now we have a new face of Earth. We see Africa, Asia, America now. But scientifics prevent the next phase of Earth around more 115. I think we will die. This spirit is very so far. But if you come back in life, you cannot see we are together with Asia, and it will be easy for you to go. You can just take your car and go to Asia, Europe. It will be very easy. To conclude, our work tries to explain to people who don't have some knowledge about geology that the earth keeps on to evolve at the time we are moving. The earth face that we see today is not the same 1 million years ago, and it won't be the same in the days to come because of convection currents that run in the depth of the earth and makes moving the plates by moving them away or bringing them closer. So I tell it's impossible to notice we are moving. It's impossible because the unit of geology is million. But we know that we are moving from some movement. For instance, volcanism prove that we are moving. They have some moving at asthenosphere. We have earthquakes that move. So I want just to add something very important. The evolution of Earth has nothing to do with man activity, contrary global warming, in which man is a actor, a principal actor of the situation. So we hope this work is going
Okay,
to
thank
help.
you, Mister. Thank you for your powerful defense. Thank you. Your time is over. I think that your defense was very powerful, and I thank you for that. Uh, I have got with me here some questions that I'm gonna ask you. I don't know. The first one is, be concentrated, please. The first one is, what inspired you to choose that kind of topic? That's the first question. The second one is, what can you explain to us the phenomenon of earthquake?
Please repeat, please.
How or what can you explain to us the phenomenon of earthquake?
Okay.
The last one is, what shall we keep in mind from your topic? What shall we keep in mind from your topic? I think that I'm not selfish. I'm gonna grant the floor to my secretary of jury. Maybe he has some questions to ask to you.
I can ask it.
Uh,
I can answer.
Yeah, please canalize, cool down. Okay, cool down. Okay, before granting the floor to my secretary of jury, you are gonna answer those questions that I asked you. Are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, thank you.
So your question is why I chose this title. You know, it's very important to know what's happening in our earth. So I wanna tell you, when I was young, I believe that in the depth of our earth we have many waters. We have water. It is a false knowledge. It's why I brought you this knowledge to know the face that we see now. It was the same in the past, and in future it will be not the same. It's why I chose this title. So how I can explain the earthquake? I say it's earthquake make part of phenomena that conveys as we are moving, because there are many movements in astronosphere. When we see earthquakes, we make sure that we are moving. There are many movements in astronosphere. So what we can return, what is the object of my subject? The object of my subject is to give you some knowledge of earth, because we are in earth. It is an obligation to know this knowledge, and you can explain to your children, to someone, that this face that you see now, it's not the same in the past, and in the future it will be not the same.
Okay, thank you. That's enough, Mr. Joel. I think that's now I'm gonna grant the floor to my secretary of jury. Mr. You have the floor.
Okay, thank you for the floor, the president.
Okay,
And
welcome.
thank you also our students for answering his questions.
Yeah.
I read your work, it is really good and powerful, and I have seen that you have respected some steps. But I have some questions for you, okay? I have some questions for you, and the first question is talking about, you have spoken about many supercontinents,
Yeah.
okay? Then my question is, why didn't you speak about other continents, other supercontinents, such as Colombia, but you have spoken just about Rubina? Why? Okay? And if it were not it, about what could you speak if it were not the supercontinent? That is the first question. The second question, you are repeating the sentence to say that the world that we see today, okay, was not the same in the past and will not be the same in the future. But you remind us that your work, a man for this change, okay, for those movements, the man has nothing to do of earthquake, okay, you have said it. But what is now your contribution being a geologist, okay, concerning the future world that we're gonna have, okay? Then the last question, okay, the last question is, you are talking, you have spoken about the plate tectonic, okay? The plate tectonic. So I would like you to explain to the class about this point. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
Did you hear?
Yeah.
Okay. Answer
So
now.
you asked me why I chose only Louisiana. I said we had many supercontinents such as Colombia, Valbara. So all these supercontinents before Rodinia, nowadays till now we don't have many knowledge. You can look for in many books of geology. You're gonna see this problem. It's the case of my work. After Rodinia, we have other supercontinents such as Pangaea. I thought about it. That's why I choose. I start from Rodinia. What we can do about the next phase of Earth? I said evolution of Earth has nothing to do with man activity. We can do nothing because it's the plans of God. It will be like that. There are many movements in the depth of the earth. I don't know if you can go into the earth for seeing what's happened or for changing something. It's impossible. We have just to see, and it will happen. We have nothing to do. So the plate tectonic is a new theory that explains us clearly, and that came to complete what Wejene say. Thanks to plate tectonic, we know exactly what happened. That's all.
Okay, thank you so much for your answers. The president, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Baendafe. I went through your work. That means I read it from the beginning to the end. It's a good work. So I congratulate you.
Thank you.
That I want you to make efforts and to do that. Okay, I congratulate you. And dear brothers, dear sisters, mothers, fathers, as an English saying does, all is well and well. Then now we are at the end of our defense. It's time for you to give a big hand to that guy. Wow.